Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and we're back in the car because we're going back on tour, Corona edition, and we're gonna head to Dino's pinball place. So Dino's like, hey, I want you to drop off my PS4 for my kid. They're bored as hell in the house. What do I have to do? I'm like, don't worry, you can borrow mine. So though I should be self-isolating and social distancing, fuck it. To be honest, I'm getting sick of the whole Corona nonsense. I'm not saying it's not serious, but to be honest, if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it anyways, and the more you think about it, the more you're gonna probably get it. So Dino's like, yo, come over for a sec, I want you to drop it off. I'm like, well, I'm staying, and I don't know if he knows I'm shooting this video, so if he's seeing it, he's probably saying, Steve, you asshole. There's pinball to be played and videos to be made. It is what it is, we gotta move forward. Look, man, I'm sorry if you guys are scared about it, and I'm not saying I'm not, but I can't go living my life in fear. I've been through so much bullshit in the last 2 years. This is kind of the least of my worries, I have to admit. Now, with that being said, let's talk to Dino, see if he's going to talk to us without a mask, because I'm not wearing one either, and see how he got started in the hobby, why he likes pinball, and all that same stuff that I always talk about. And we'll check out and let's talk to Dino. Okay, so we've arrived at Dino's. We've talked for a good half hour. Let's see where he is. Dino, what's up, man?
Steve?
Robotron, nice. How you doing? Are we going to do this? Are we allowed to touch now? Or?
Yeah.
All right, good enough. Who gives a shit? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Whatever. The COVID thing's got everyone's crazy. But honestly, I said like in the car, I'm a little cautious, but honestly, whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I hear you. Yeah.
So yeah, nice place you have here.
Thank you.
Not bad. So why don't we get started? We'll get to it. Let's start at Iron Maiden.
Sure.
Tell me about it. So this is your latest purchase, you said, right?
Latest purchase from one of my buddies, Casey. Yeah. Great game. Probably personally one of the best Stern games, late games that there is.
I agree with you there.
I would not give up on this game. It's a fantastic game. Love it. Play it lots. So.
What's your high score? Oh, right there. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Still learning.
Yeah.
Still learning, trying to understand everything, see what we can, how we can improve.
Now, it's one game I want. It's actually on the list.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. Firepower. Oh, my God. I like Firepower better than number 2, but this one you said is unique, right? This is totally, you redid the whole thing?
So, yeah, this thing has CPR playfield in it, new back glass, full LEDs. Did a lot of work on this thing. The playfield was one of the last few that CPR ran. Simply, I know this because the inserts that are numbered 1 through 6 that point at the stand-up targets actually are clear, where the factory ones and the original ones were orange.
Huh.
What happened from, I guess, what the story goes is that CPR was running out of inserts, and they got to the last handful or two of playfields and decided rather than not finish them, they would put clear inserts in there.
Huh.
So this is my first pin. This will be one that will never leave. Others may come and go, but this one is a keeper for me.
Really? Okay.
Not that it's a grail pin or anything like that. It's just...
Your first?
It's my first. So
cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Black Knight.
Black Knight. Story behind this is pretty simple. This was a completely roach playfield top and bottom. It looked like a prime candidate for a hard top, which is what is actually on this thing.
Nice.
And I picked it up for about $550. Invested some money and time and effort into it. Put the hard top in. New back glass on this guy. Full LEDs again. Plays really well. Still got a few quirks that need to be sorted out. Just haven't gotten around to it. It plays well enough that the quirks don't bother me. And, it's kind of I don't want to say a twin to Firepower. It's one of the first 2 or 3 Williams solid state that had neat and original features. This one being the first one to have an upper playfield and time drop targets, whereas Firepower is the first one to have multi-ball and lane change. So a couple of games that are have some unique features to them that were first seen on these games. Gorga being the other one, which I absolutely can't stand, was the first one to have speech.
That's right.
So,
yeah. Cool. It's iconic. It's an iconic game.
Definitely pass on that Gorga, though, but these two will stick around for a while.
Next, Judge Dredd.
So Judge Dredd, fun game, wide body, lots of great shots. Good deal on this one. Bottom line was it probably cost about $1,500.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And simply because a buddy of mine had it that really knew nothing about pinball and didn't play it, got it for free, ended up swapping a 60-in-1 Galaga cab for it.
Wow.
Great deal, couldn't complain. And like I said, it's a fun game. One of the cool things about this one is it's got a pin to DMD display in it.
Talk to me. Let me get in close here.
Sure.
So this, you make these, right?
I assemble them.
Assemble, okay.
Parts are coming in from China. A guy had designed the boards and the software that goes on them. We'll work in just about any game that has a DMD. Color, they come with color by default. Not full color. As you can tell, this one's only got blue, red, and white with a black background.
Right.
Guys in the hobby are actually colorizing games completely. So there are some games like Metallica. There's a bunch of different games that guys have actually done the color work for them. They usually ask for some kind of donation, and they're willing to provide you with the files, and you get the equivalent to a color DMD display, and at half the price. So
we're gonna see that in a second too, right?
Yep. I'll show you what the displays look like.
Cool. So. And then here is obviously like a multicade, right?
Yeah, it's a MAME cab.
A MAME, yeah.
I actually built this thing with my kid. I'd shown him years ago a MAME running on my laptop, and then we decided, I said to him, "You want to make a project out of this? We'll build a cab and throw the PC in there and get the controls, the joysticks, buttons, trackball, everything we could do." And it was what I started with.
What's in it? Is it actually MAME? What's the face?
It's an old PC.
Yeah.
And it's got a few hundred games on it. And I generally play. I'm an old school gamer.
Yeah.
I'm Pac-Man, Galaga,
the classics,
Space
the golden
Invaders,
age.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, Robotron's one of my favorites.
Right.
And Street Fighter and stuff like that. Fighting games, not a fan.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And but these are the kind of games I play, and it's what keeps me going.
Yeah, man. Cool. It is what it is. And then this is, Grand Prix. Tell me about this one. This is actually one of my favorite EMs. I actually won a Grand Prix. It is on my list, but again, nothing yet. Where'd you get this one?
So this was a Walt special. This game actually came from Allentown. Walt brought it back. I think he paid $550 or $600 for it. He kept it for a little while and then decided he wanted to sell it. I wasn't really in the market for it, but then I figured, it'd be nice to have one EM, one solid state, and get some games that were DMD and otherwise. So
variety, sure.
Yeah, so I got kind of one of each, and this was, I think, game number 3 or 4. I can't remember, but it's a fun game. I actually like it.
Same, man.
Plays pretty well. It's got some wear and tear on it.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
Yeah.
I still think, and our pinball guys will shit on me, I still think it has the best spinners in all of pinball, EM, DMD, or anything. And I know it's controversial. I still think it's my favorite spinners.
Yeah, great spinner shots on this. A lot of fun. It's still a fast game. Active pop bumpers and stuff like that. And got some brutal stuff on the out lanes. You try and trap up and you roll the ball right up.
That is true right there. Yeah, that's killer right there.
But definitely spinner shots are a lot of fun, and when you rip them and they spin forever, yeah,
and it's loud because then you're like, and it's like, yeah, it's loud and annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, let's go to that room. You said that there's a pin in there now. Eddie, if you guys know, when I did the Drapple, if you go back in my archives, this is Eddie's game, is it not? The party zone?
This is one of Eddie's games. He's loaned me 6 of them. This is the first one that's gotten into the house. I got a few more in the garage that will make their way down eventually. The idea is to hopefully get these set up along with the rest of the games that I have in the other room, and perhaps host a league night for the Drapple guys. Would like to get everything down and in here and running well before we get that far.
Right.
But one at a time. I'll get them in here and I'll get them all set up.
It's a fair trade-off. What about the virtual pin? Similar to
the virtual pin is, it's got about 600 games on it right now. I moved it out of the other room because I needed space for Iron Maiden, and it's found its way in here, and I've just been a little bit too busy to get it fired up and working again. Another one of the projects that's on the list, and another thing that I need to do, but I'll get back around to it soon enough. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time with the COVID virus floating around out there. I'll be in here fairly often.
What are you gonna? Oh, what was it? What donor cab was this? What was it?
This was a hot tip EM. I think it was an EM. I feel horrible that I actually stripped it down and painted it black. I kind of regretted it after the fact. I would have loved to have kept the cheesy artwork that was on the side of it.
Was your plan to actually put a different side or different artwork, or just black sleeve?
This was a budget build. My goal was to actually build a working V-pin that played decently for as little as possible. And at one point, I think I had invested a total of about $650.
It's not bad at all
in the whole setup. And guys that I know mock me for it, but it runs fine, and it runs well, and it does what I need it to do. And it's just, again, another project that I need to get back to.
In time. In time. So this is interesting. So guys, what Dino's doing is, we all know that color DMDs are great, but super expensive. So here's Dino's alternative. Here's one unplugged. I guess this is how you build it.
Yeah.
And then you've just plugged this in for a power source.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. So so these are two panels.
It's two separate panels. I will grab one because I think there's one right here. So what it is, it's comprised of two small LED panels. I part source everything from China. The circuit boards are printed and built by a Chinese company. LED panels are also built in China. I get all the parts here. I do the assembly. They require some firmware to be installed on them. They have to be activated through the guy that actually designed the boards and designed the software. There's some donations and money involved in doing that. And, I put them together, spend time doing this, and try to sell them to guys that are interested in something that isn't color DMD, that's a decent price and a good option as a replacement.
So you're telling me that normally, how much do you sell this if you were to sell these?
I'm selling them for $250 a piece.
Canadian, right?
Yeah, Canadian. Color DMD, most guys know by the time you get them up here,
$650.
You're looking anywhere between $500 and $600, depending on the exchange rate and duty and shipping and everything like that.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's a cheap alternative, and the nice thing about them too is, even if you're looking to replace a DMD that's pooched in your game, then the cool thing is you have the option of picking different colors, whether you want to go with the full color or solid color. The other thing you can do with these things, I have the brightness cranked down pretty low on it because they do get really, really bright. Hang on, let me just flip back to that.
This is a really good alternative, huh?
So yeah, I mean they're pretty bright. They get super bright. I keep them turned down quite a bit because that when you actually put them into your game,
it reflects off the glass.
Yeah, and they're way too bright. So yeah, you know what? It's a good alternative. I've sold a few of them. Most of the guys that have them are pretty happy with them. And when you have the ability to get a game that somebody has done the colorization for, you probably top out at about $300 for a full color equivalent to a color DMD.
Very cool. You said there's one more project room that you have. I know it's messy. Are you good for? You're okay to show us?
Oh yeah. This is just storage space, and there's my next project is sitting there, with stuff piled up on top of it. For those that can tell what the cabinet is, it's a space shuttle.
Underrated. At first I thought the game's stupid, but it's fun gameplay. I actually really like Space Shuttle.
Yeah, it's a great game.
What is this? The Millennium Falcon?
That is a Death Star from when I was a 8-year-old kid.
Serious?
Yes,
cool.
I've had it for a long time.
What am I saying, Falcons? Yeah, it should be. That's neat. So what's wrong? What you have a playfield there? Is that the playfield from that?
Yeah, the playfield sitting here is out of that game, and if you have a look at the playfield, It's got a lot of wear spots on
shit,
it,
yeah.
especially down below.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah,
It's totally
so,
fucked.
so this is another candidate for a hard top, which I already...
Which they made, right?
Yeah, which they made, and I already have.
Is this it here?
No, it's in a box. It's a polycarb that's got some thickness to it. You can't roll it up.
Okay.
It needs to be shipped flat.
Ugh.
I can show that to you if you like.
Why the hell not? Sure.
But yeah, come on here, and all the parts I have.
How long? So what's priority for you right now?
That's a good question. Priority right now is probably getting to this project.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
It will be fun. It will take some time. Here's the hard top for it.
How much do these go for?
I think they're about $300. I think maybe $250 US.
Yeah, around 320 Canadian. Blah, blah, blah.
So by the time you get it up here, it's about 400. But to find an actual playfield,
yeah, forget it.
These is probably a lot more expensive.
These are amazing. Who makes these again? CPR, aren't they?
It is Outside Edge. Outside Edge is the company down in the US that makes them.
Right.
Like I said, I've got one on Black Knight. It plays really well. Game's fast, and it's a great way to save completely roach playfield in a game that may not see the kind of love that it deserves.
You're right.
So.
Cool, man. Anything else you have? That's pretty much it, right?
That's pretty much it. Right now, I'm stuck at the number of pins on 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, there's a few other ones floating around the house, but...
Oh, shit. I didn't even see this projector. I just saw... How big is this TV? I just saw this now.
That's a 92-inch screen. Projector's directly in front of you and above. It's a short throw projector. Which means that it doesn't have to be very far from the screen to fill it. And this was another budget build. I can't afford, tons of money to spend on a home theater.
Is this, what's behind here?
It is actually transparent. It's acoustically transparent, the screen is. And what you're seeing is light.
Speakers?
Yeah, it's light bleeding through from the room behind it. And what it is there's cutouts in the wall, and the speakers, the left and right in the center channel, actually sit behind the screen, and the sound actually comes right through the screen. So that way, as you notice, the only thing you see out front are components and my subwoofer, which is sitting on the floor. There's no speakers here. What
I'm wondering though is when you're watching a movie, can you see?
No, it's the only reason you're getting the bleed.
Oh, it's because the light from the other room.
Because the lights are on.
Ah, I see.
So, yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and if I'd have known, I would have fired the screen up for you too.
Nah, everybody's seen a big, flat screen. So,
see, and I've been trying for months to get Steve to take these things home.
I love it.
I don't want them. So,
lastly, within the next few minutes, how did you get into pinball?
How did I get into pinball? Well, I started. I've never played pinball growing up.
Right.
I was a video game guy.
Yeah.
It started with the MAME cab. I wanted to build a cab, and I thought, it'd be really cool down here to have a MAME cab and a single pinball machine.
Right.
And like the rest of us,
the disease.
You buy one,
yeah.
And you kind of go down the rabbit hole, and then before you know it, you got 1, you got 2, you got 5, you got 8.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got into it, and been playing competitively for the last couple of years with the guys that I've been introduced to. I do it more for the social than anything.
Right.
It's always fun to compete, but
so do I.
That's not the main reason I'm into it though. So
that's good. And then you said, other than your two projects, do you have another pin right now? Or a grail pin that you'd ever want, like that you've played and wanted? If you had 20 grand and you said, okay, here, Dino, go, what game would you get?
Being a Star Wars fan,
yeah,
I'd probably go with a newer Stern Star Wars.
LE?
Yeah, probably, if I could get my hands on one. The Data East one originally used to do something for me, but not much anymore. I'm not hung up on grail pins. I like the games that are fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
If I had 20 grand to spend, I'd even consider probably Metallica would be an option.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me Jurassic Park is a lot of fun.
Yep, and you won.
And Deadpool. Deadpool's high on the list too, because that's a blast.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, no grail pins, just a little bit of variety. A few games that, like I said, will never leave. Others that may come and go, but we'll see. I'm not a seller.
Neither am I.
I'm not a hoarder. But it'll be tough for me to part with games. But you never know.
That's true. Yeah, life. Look what happened in the last 2 weeks. I think, the world's in chaos.
Exactly.
So you know what, Dino, I don't want to tape it too long. You've been a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me in such a unique time in our lives, isn't it? Like literally everyone's on lockdown. Like I said, guys, look, I know a lot of people like, Steve, man, you should be taking it more seriously. My wife and I are pretty, we're just clean here and there, but that's it. If you're going to get it, I mean, I've hugged you, I've high-fived you. If we played pin, I mean, it's probably not a good idea. We're going to watch it next week.
I'm going to disinfect right
That's
now.
it. Next week.
When Steve leaves, I'm cleaning up.
Yeah, top tier, it's going to be top tier lockdown soon. But thanks, Dino, for having me again and hanging out. It's been a pleasure. And guys, if you hadn't had a chance, please do so. Subscribe. Who knows when we're going to have another chance to do a top tier on tour. This was a surprise to me. A lot of people that have asked, even places are now closed, as you know. And a lot of people are very freaking out. Dino was good to say, no, the hell with it. You're a Greek. I don't know if that matters, but, it's whatever. Good enough. Just come over and hang out. But thanks again for checking out Top Tier. Peace.
Take care.